How's it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here to give you your daily stimulus check and unemployment benefits updates and the latest information. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube, which is what I try to provide here on this channel.
Gas prices nationally here in the U.S. for a regular gallon of gas are $4.25 per gallon. Not bad. That's actually down 7 cents from just 1 week ago today. But the good news is that prices are expected to drop even more. And you're probably thinking, well, finally, that's great news. But that's also bad news, because as prices drop closer to that $4 range, as soon as they get to $3.99, according to experts, they say we are going to see a surge of people going to buy gas, going to travel, because, well, it's all cheaper. It's less expensive. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is that when gas prices drop, it's not just because we're getting more supply. It's usually because demand is dropping. That's the reason why. But also, the high price of gas has made it very easy for many families to reconsider whether they decide to drive a vehicle or not, or whether they travel or stay at home. And according to one AAA spokesperson, they say that in a recent survey, it shows that 59% of Americans have either changed their driving habits completely once gas prices went over $4 per gallon. But according to multiple senior managers at AAA, they say that the Americans have had sticker shock for quite some time. And as soon as it went from $3.99 to over $4, and again, I know it's over $4 in multiple states. It is in Washington State. I know it's over $5 in other states as well. I know it is in here in downtown Seattle. Also, in California and other states also. But the higher gas prices go, according to the reports, the more people will have to make adjustments. And the more adjustments that are made, we could actually see gas prices fall. But again, according to experts, they are predicting gas prices will hover right around that $3.99 range, because as they drop, people decide to buy more, go on vacations, and then they go back up because, well, supply drops or stays the same and demand increases. So that's something that we have to be aware of. But they also say that this is something that we could see Congress do something about. Provide a gas tax holiday, take some of the money from some of these large oil companies, push it back into the American people's pockets, right? We've heard that multiple times before. But here's something else. 2 states have actually passed gas tax holidays. I want to address that in just a minute. And 1 state is highly considering providing $400 gas vouchers or gas payments or rebates, stimulus, whatever you want to call them, to their residents. This will include billionaires as well as the person next door. But let's talk about these. Because while lower prices will usually increase demand, which again could mean more people outside of these certain states will see an increase in price. And again, a lot of people question this, whether a gas tax holiday is a good move or not. According to a few experts, they say if the federal government did a gas tax holiday, that would be a good move, because that would actually lower prices for everybody. Here's the issue. If we only lower prices in certain states, what could happen is the demand in those states could actually increase, but the prices everywhere else stays the same for a little bit. But as demand increases in those specific states, it will actually increase the demand in other states as well, which means their price would go up. So, if you live in one of these 3 states, it's good news for you. In California, lawmakers have proposed a $400 stimulus payment or gas rebate to all their residents. Yes, this means billionaire Mark Zuckerberg would receive the same amount of money as Jim from the local deli. Same amount of money. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or you are absolutely broke with no money to your name. You will both get the same payment. In these 2 states, though, they have actually passed a gas tax holiday. One of those states is Georgia. Georgia, or Georgians, if you're going to go and get gas, You may have already seen this because this, I believe, went into effect 2 days ago on Friday, but you will have a 29 cent gas tax excluded from your cost. This will actually run until May 31st. That's good news there. In Maryland, you have a 36-cent gas tax excluded from your price. This will only last 30 days until April 16th. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm a little bit depressed on that one, I don't live in Maryland, but I would find that almost concerning. Okay? So here's what I would do. I would load up on gas when it's the cheapest, because if you go and put gas in on April 17th, well, you should have done it the day before. Okay? So I would make sure I get as much gas in every single one of my vehicles, get a couple gas cans, fill them up, right, to make sure I'm getting gas at the cheapest price possible, because on April 17th, it goes up 36 cents automatically. You don't want that to happen. But while gas prices are this high, airlines have made it very clear they're just going to pass on this increase in prices over to travelers and consumers, because during these times of high demand of travel, especially as everything's just opening back up, they say this is their time to capitalize on consumer spending. So we'll see what happens there. One thing I can tell you regarding any type of relief is we're probably not going to see it. Stimulus in the form of stimulus check isn't coming from the federal government. Could we see relief coming from certain businesses? Yes, we could. As if businesses really want to see the American consumers spend money throughout the entire economy as opposed to just in certain areas. So we'll see what happens, but as I know more, I promise I will share all latest news and updates. Let's get into the health news for today regarding COVID, because health experts in the US are saying that they are predicting another uptick in COVID cases due to the new BA.2 variant. That's what they're saying. And according to health experts, they say that BA.2 is about 50 to 60% more transmissible than Omicron. But good news here is it doesn't seem to be any more severe. And as of right now, according to experts here in the US, they say 25 to 30% of new cases in the US are BA.2. Now, even though experts say we will likely see increases in cases, they also say that this shouldn't change the way the US has really handled COVID. And this won't change the US's course of how they've already kind of dealt with it over the past couple of weeks, right? So this appears to be good news, because not the increased cases, but the cases that we are going to have and how the U.S. is handling it. They say that's good news because we're not going to deviate. We're not going to change course at this moment. So that's good news there. Now let's get into some Russia and Ukraine news, because there's a lot of stuff coming out over the past couple of days. But here's what I can tell you. Just today, negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, according to one U.S. ambassador, she says that they seem to be very one-sided. She also says that Russia has not made any good faith efforts to end the conflicts in Ukraine through negotiations. But currently, reports are indicating that more than 10 million Ukrainians have actually fled from their homes and will likely either not return for quite some time, which we don't know how long that would be, or some say if ever. Here's the reason why this is so important. If you have 10 million people just flee, right, from a certain country or from their home, if their home is not there, it's just rubble, right? It's on fire. It's just collapsed, whatever. The likelihood of people staying there to rebuild is small, especially when there's always going to be that concern that Russia did this, they could do it again. Now, Russia has demands. And one of the demands that they said today was they want Ukraine to surrender the Ukrainian port of Mariupol. Now, it's because of this demand that Russia is almost going above and beyond to prevent Ukrainian citizens from fighting for their country. Because here's what's happening. They're simply rounding up Mariupol residents, taking them to Russian territory, and really we don't know what's going on with them once they are there. But the reports from this past week are saying that more than a few thousand residents from Mariupol have been removed and taken to Russian territory. Now that's scary, because it's one thing to stay in a city and fight for your country. It's another thing to stay in a city with the risk of being pretty much ripped from that city, removed, taken to another country's territory, Russian territory, and who knows what they're doing with you there. That could get some people to stop fighting for their country, for the sake of being able to see their family. Now, Ukraine is waiting on U.S. weaponry, and this should be coming in the next few days, according to reports. So whether this deters Russian troops or not, we don't know at this time, but we should know probably by the end of this week. What we do know is that China does plan to work to de-escalate the situation between Russia and Ukraine. Now, their diplomat says that China's relationship with Russia is not part of the problem, but again, we just don't know. So we should have an idea very soon if China has any pull between them and Russia, which they should, because if Russia is running out of some of their resources, the probability of getting China involved is going to be higher.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube. Have a good one.